Manchester! Wow!
Right, so we're in Manchester Academy with Wade from Gallows. How's it going?
Good. Been out on the road for the last 3 weeks in Europe. The last few days I've been back in the UK. And now it's just punk rock, lazy river.
Nice.
You know, there's a lot more ground to cover in Europe, but England's such a small country, right? So it's just like a few hour drives each day. So just floating down that lazy river.
Does it feel weird to be in a country where you can get everywhere in like 3 hours, coming from Canada where it's so fast?
Yeah, I mean, growing up touring in Canada, you know, I mean, there's a good 10-hour dent between most cities. So, well, I remember when I first came over here and someone was like, oh, we gotta, everybody take care of yourself tonight, like, you know, don't go too crazy. It's a 3.5 hour drive up to Glasgow tomorrow. I'm like, okay, I'll keep that in mind.
So the last time I saw you guys were in LA on the 8P tour last year, which I believe was your first tour with the new lineup.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so what's changed in Camp Gallows in the last 11, 12 months?
Well, I mean, that was our first tour, so we were kind of, I think we enjoyed it, but I mean, we were kind of finding our feet, you know, and I'm glad we recorded that EP right away and went on the road, like, immediately.
Yeah.
You know, I think it forced us to kind of just, like, figure everything out immediately, like, kind of trial by fire. At the same time, it was kind of nuts, you know, jumping into it right away. But I think it's what made it all come together in the end. Since then, we've been pretty much on the road the whole time, and put out a brand new record. It's been out for a few weeks, and yeah, touring our asses off.
Good to have the record out there finally.
Yeah, I mean, definitely it feels good to put more of my stamp on things, and it's just, you know, an exciting time for the band, you know, like, feels rejuvenated and feels good.
Cool. Does it feel good to be singing your own lyrics as well now instead of...
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, like, I think you know, I think I can relate to a lot of those old songs, and I think everybody can, and that's why people love the band, you know. And even though it's a really English band, you know, people love this band all over the world, because you can see some of yourself in those lyrics. But obviously, you know, the new stuff is all the lyrics are me, and yeah, it feels good. It feels a little more honest. It feels a little more straight up.
Everybody fucking loves you.
The album's come out now. You had a month for it to be released. What do you feel the reception's been like?
It's been good. I mean, some stuff's been like super immediate, you know, and it's cool to see those things happen that you kind of imagine. You know, when we wrote a song like Outsider Art, and you know, you write music in this usually depressed environment, like some weird little room like this, or a basement, or some rehearsal studio. No matter how big bands get, they always have some horrendous rehearsal studio, you know, like, in my old band we rehearsed above a like insulation factory for years, and like every once in a while in the winter they'd like burn like insulation and stuff like that, and we'd be like, are we seriously in the room get all smoked out? And I'm like, yeah, we can go play at a hockey arena, but we're practicing breathing in fumes from
weird occupational hazard.
Yeah. But I think that's across the board for all bands. So, you know, to write music in this kind of weird environment, and then you imagine things. Like, I imagined that build and Outsider Art, and kind of gets that fevered pace, and it just kicks off, and it's that big gang chant. And the first time we played that song, like, it happened, you know, like what I'd kind of been dreaming about. And those feelings are really cool, you know, when you see that happen, you see the crowd react to it. You know, it's the first time the band has ever played in Poland on this tour, and yeah, going to like a small city like Poznan and having everybody know every single word to every song I've written for this record it's pretty incredible.
Yeah. What was the recording experience like?
It was good. I mean, we wanted to do it. We did it in Watford, where all the boys are from, with friends of theirs that they grew up with. And I think we made exactly the record we set out to make, which is something a lot of times doesn't really happen, you know? And we all love it, we're all really proud of it. And it was cool, it was a cool experience, you know, but we did a few things, like we booked a lot of shows over the course of the summer. We booked our rehearsal time, and then, you know, we kind of got all these offers, like, oh, do you want to go play with Rancid in Gothenburg? And we're like, well, yeah, and do you want to go, like, do you want to go do some like fest with Integrity and all these bands like in Germany? We're like, probably. And it kind of kept going in a similar fashion. So we rehearsed and recorded over the space of about a month. But in that month, I want to say we probably played about 14 shows.
Right.
So we'd rehearse for a couple of days. We'd drive up to Belgium and play a festival. You know, we'd stop in Germany on the way back and played with like Dillinger Skate Plan.
Yeah.
Came back to rehearsal, you know, rehearsed for a few more days, shot off, played like Rock Am Ring, went and played with like Mastodon and stuff, and all the shows were amazing, but it was a really weird transition. Just get yourself in the different mindset of playing live and writing and recording. And but I think at the end of the day, I think it made the record sound the way it does, because I think playing those shows injected incredible amount of energy into all of it. And like, you know, we came back from that show in Belgium just like flying. We were got in the studio, we rehearsed for like 14 hours that day. Whereas if we just woke up and, you know, probably just would have kicked around, had a late start.
Little bricks in the cabin for you.
Yeah, right. You know, went out for dinner for a couple of pints with good intentions of coming back and writing more songs.
Yeah.
Definitely not writing more songs.
Behind calling it Gallows?
I don't know. I think it's important for the band to have a self-titled record at some point in their career. A lot of bands do it for their first, but these boys didn't. And it just felt right. It felt like it's... I think everybody feels like it's something completely new, but at the same time, it's something not new at all. And we just want to build on what's been great about this band in the past, but obviously push forward in a different direction, you know? And, yeah, so quite simply we call it Gallows, which is, you know, a pretty big statement of intent, you know?
Yeah. It's like starting afresh, I suppose, in a way. It's just
yeah,
like
I think
a mission
so.
statement.
Yeah, I'd say so, you know? And, I think it's a pretty big fuck you to everybody that doesn't believe in it. And at the same time, it's just something that's obvious and something that, you know, feel pretty justified in saying, like, this is Gallows.
This might not annoy you, because, you know, you're obviously reasonably new to the band, but does it get you nerves when people call a band The Gallows? Like when the bootleg merch is out front, will be selling the £5 The Gallows
yeah, I'm
t-shirts
looking
tonight.
forward to get some The Gallows shirts today with some horrendous. Hopefully it's still got Frank on it too.
Yeah, maybe it might do. Yeah,
wear it on
maybe you and Frank.
It's a huge picture of Frank on it. The Gallows. You know, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
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 To be honest, I probably said it on stage.
Yeah, maybe you have.
I'm like, and then just look at the guys like, ah, fuck, shit, sorry.
So what are your plans now for the rest of the year and for maybe early next year as a band?
For the rest of the year, we're touring pretty much right up until December. We finished this, we got a few more weeks in the UK. Go over, tour through the States, tour through Canada, which I'm really excited about. The boys have played in Toronto, they played in like Vancouver, which is pretty much all any band ever goes to. We're going through like right through to the belly of the beast.
Really?
So yeah, they're gonna see it. They're gonna see Saskatoon. They're gonna see Regina. You know. So I'm excited. I can't wait for them to the van to almost hit a moose in the middle of the night and get the Canadian experience.
You're gonna teach them the ways.
Yeah, we end in California. I go play a few farewell shows with my old band, and then take a little break, get out on the road again. We do Australia. We're talking about going to Southeast Asia. Hopefully that works out. Hopefully we get to Japan and stuff and keep touring.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So many shows.
Nice one. Right, well, thanks for your time and have an awesome show tonight and enjoy the rest of the UK tour.
Will do.
So cheers, thank you.
Cheers.
Sorry.